super high.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. We're back again, and we're gonna be doing, guess what? It's mock draft season, so we're gonna be talking about Mel Kiper, the Hair, versus Todd McShay. They give their top 10 picks, basically of a mock draft this upcoming NFL draft in Las Vegas 2022. They're going to give their first 10 picks. They're going to talk about who should go in the top 10, who should not go in the top 10, who will be a reach. Everything that these guys are going to talk about that we've been talking about here on the Big Blue Crew Network. Me, Joe, Lou, Hit Squad, we all been talking about the NFL draft, what's going to come up, man. It's going to be so exciting. Don't forget to tune in to the Big Blue Crew for your NFL draft needs. We will definitely be doing a live draft watch party, and we're going to be giving our analysis on everything NFL draft that weekend, coming up in about a month at the end of April. I will say this, guys, this is a passion of mine. I've always loved talking about the NFL draft. I love the NFL draft season. I love doing the mock drafts. I got a couple of mock drafts coming up myself. Probably do a 2-round mock draft and probably do a full 7-round Giants mock draft here soon. But we're going to react to Todd McShay's and Mel Kiper's top 10 picks in this upcoming NFL draft. And, you know, I'm going to get my analysis and see what these guys got. One of my dreams is to be able to go on there and challenge these guys about their draft picks and their draft analysis of these players that are coming out in these drafts. And I'm gonna get there, man, with your guys' support, man. Thank you guys for all your support, getting me over 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the 6 members of the channel. They're talking their talk with Big Pat Sports Talk. They're standing out. I appreciate you guys, because you know I'm gonna talk my talk no matter what you thought. But let's get into the video and let's see what they got going for these picks.
Mel Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay. Great to have both of you here today. It's great to have kind of a normal show for once. It's been a little bit of a weird schedule of pro days and all that. I'm sure you guys are fired up for the draft being just 1 month away. And we figured with the draft just 1 month away, what better thing to do than a collaborative mock draft, Mel and Todd, where the two of you, rather than arguing with each other, get to work together for once, Mel. This is exciting for you and Todd.
It is very exciting. These guys are always going at it, man. It's must-see TV when these guys come up during the draft talk. It's pretty fun, man.
Todd are assistant or co-GMs with each other. What do you think?
Once in a lifetime, something great has to happen between Todd and I, and we're gonna try to put our heads together, come up with a consensus. It's not necessarily a mock draft, but what we would do based on who's taken ahead of us. So we look at the needs, we look at free agency, we look at what's available, and we try to come up with a consensus pick in the top 10 for both Todd and myself.
I just had a real thought. Can you imagine Kiper and I having to make a decision, being the co-GM of an NFL team and having to decide? I mean, that would be
that would be must-see TV. Not gonna lie to you. That would be must-see TV. Can you imagine them arguing about the picks, and they might lose the pick because they're arguing and somebody goes in front of them and makes their pick? It'd be hilarious.
Absolute disaster. He wouldn't eat or drink the entire draft. I'd have piles of food in front of me and stacks of Diet Cokes and waters going. I'd be in the bathroom. He'd make a pick while I was in the bathroom. I know what he would do. He'd make a trade and then pick right away when I went to the restaurant. So it would be fun. But today's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this.
This would be fun. And we'll also talk about
it would be the best reality TV in the history of reality TV field. That would be the best and get the highest rating ever if you ever put that on a reality TV station or did anything like that. So I think the people would love to see it. Might not be the best scenario for each team, or whatever team we were.
It'd be the worst scenario for each team.
But it would certainly be a lot of fun to do.
I've heard there could be some expansion coming to the NFL, perhaps a 33rd and 34th franchise. And if that actually ever comes to life, I believe you two should be leading contenders to be the 2 first members of the front office. By the way, we'll also...
That's kind of exciting about 2 new teams coming to the league. They have been talking about it, but I think they said it was going to have one in London, if I'm not mistaken. Wonder how that would go, man. Have a team in London, man. The away games for them are going to be absolutely insane. So you might have to make a schedule to where they have most of their home games in a row, at least 5 home games in a row, man, because a traveling schedule for a team in London would be absolutely insane. But it's probably going to come, man, with the league getting the new money as far as the TV deals and everything. You may see a team in London, man. You may see them. But, chat, tell me where you want the 2 teams located. If they do put 2 expansion teams in the NFL, let me know.
Also discuss the Tyreek Hill trade, which the blockbusters just continue in the NFL. It's like every time I turn, there's a new Schefter bomb on Twitter about some superstar player changing teams. I mean, you just go through the list. It has been a series of major trades. But we're going to do our joint mock-ish draft with the first 10 picks. First up, Jacksonville Jaguars, of course, with the first overall pick for the 2nd straight year. The team has been extremely busy in free agency. They spent more guaranteed money than any team in the history of the NFL in a single free agency period. And I think the most pertinent part of this, as it pertains to the draft, is that they used a franchise tag for the 2nd straight year on Cam Robinson, a player they originally drafted back in 2017. So Todd, I'll give you the first pick here. You guys can talk through it, but I'll have you first word on the first pick. If you were Trent Baalke right now, which direction would you be turning?
I'd go with Aiden Hutchinson, the defensive end from Michigan, and for a few different reasons. First of all, you are set at offensive tackle, even if it's just for 1 year. So that kind of, in my opinion, takes Evan Neal, the offensive tackle from Alabama, and Ike Ekwonu from NC State out of the picture. With Hutchinson, you're getting the player, you're getting the production, you're getting the sacks, the tackles for loss, the run defense, and you're getting a cornerstone type of leader. And I think if you're Jacksonville, you're looking for that kind of impact player and a player that you can build around moving forward, Mel. So to me, Hutchinson, probably the easiest pick here in the top.
Look at this dude's stats for this upcoming year, and this is why I wouldn't be mad if they picked Aiden Hutchinson number 1. I actually think he should go number 1. Put him on the other side of Josh Allen, man. You have 2 bookend edges on Jacksonville, and that can turn your defense around immediately. He has 62 total tackles, 36 solo, 26 assist tackles, 14 sacks. Now, for the people that are saying that this guy can't get after the quarterback or he was playing lesser competition, the dude played against the Big Ten, and the Big Ten is known for what? Offensive linemen. And this man put up 14 sacks this year. You saw the highlights there. He's explosive off the line. Is he the fastest? No. Is he the strongest? No, but he has the great combination of both. And he plays the run very well. He gets, obviously, he get to the quarterback, 14 sacks. Come on. I think this dude's going to be an absolute monster in the league. I think he's going to be in the upper echelon of edge rushers very early in his career. And I'm not mad at them putting Aiden Hutchinson to the Jaguars number 1. I would love to see him as a New York Giant, but I'm a realist, man. I think this guy definitely could go number 1 since they franchise tag Cam Robinson again, so that may take Neal off their board, may take Ekwonu off their board. So the next best thing is get the best defender in the draft, maybe. So I like that pick, number 1 overall to the Jaguars, Aiden Hutchinson. Not mad at that, but 62 total tackles, 14 sacks, 6'6", 269, runs about a 4.6. Man, the dude's a beast, man.
10. I don't know how much of a discussion that we even have to have at this number 1 spot for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly. And I think when you look at Josh Allen, Clelin Ferrell went ahead of Josh Allen. Josh Allen ended up becoming a pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's shown flashes. He's done a really good job at times.
And the Raiders are crazy. They took Clelin Ferrell over Josh Allen, and that was absolutely crazy. I know we got killed for taking Daniel Jones over Josh Allen, but they took Ferrell over Josh Allen. So you're saying Ferrell was a better edge than Josh Allen, and that just was not the case in that draft. That draft, Josh Allen was the best edge in that draft, I believe.
Was getting after the quarterback. Actually had a great game against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. That was a career game for him where he was doing everything, being so disruptive. So I think if Josh Allen can maintain a level of consistency, stay healthy for 16 games, Aiden Hutchins brings an attitude and energy to this football team, and an AFC where you got to get after the quarterbacks. That's the bottom line. And protecting Trevor Lawrence and opening up holes, obviously, for the running backs. Travis Etienne coming off an injury, their first-round pick last year. All of a sudden, Jacksonville, with Phil Rauscher, the new offensive line coach, has something to work with. You need some pieces with Sheriff and free agency. Obviously, Walker Little, former second-round pick, could be the right tackle. Cam Robinson, if they can coach him up to be a consistent left tackle. Taylor will also be in competition with Little at right tackle. So all of a sudden now you got some things going there. But Hutchinson, talk to the kid. I'll tell you what, Todd and Field, he is a guy that you just want to go through a wall when you got a guy like that. Who makes everybody around him better? Aiden Hutchinson could be that guy. I think it's pretty much an easy consensus that he should be the pick at number 1.
All right, so not
easy number 1 pick right there.
Not much beyond that is going to be easy. As we go to number 2 in Detroit, who obviously would probably like to get their hands on Aiden Hutchinson, the local product, having played at Michigan. But Mal, I'll let you start here. Detroit hasn't been that busy in free agency. Probably the biggest name they added was DJ Chark on a 1-year deal at wide receiver. But if you were, right now, if you were Brad Holmes, their general manager, and Dan Campbell, their head coach, who will be the stars of Hard Knocks, by the way, and the draft will also be in Detroit in 2024, where would you go at pick 2?
This is a tough one. This is where you would hope to get somebody to maybe move up to that second spot.
Agreed.
If we could, Todd, and entice somebody to jump up there. If you're locked in, and that's what they always say, hey, don't assume we can trade down. If we can't get a dance partner here, we got to make a pick. So if we're not going to project any trades and we don't get an opportunity to do that, who are we going to take at number 2? I think it's too high to think. I know there's been a lot of mocks come out recently, Todd, that have Malik Willis going to. He's at 8. I'd be curious to see on your updated big board. He's at like 18, 19 on my big board. Todd, where's Malik Willis on yours right now?
Yeah, I've got him at 20. I've got him at 20 and Kenny Pickett at 21. So
I have both of those guys a lot. I had that guy a lot lower than 20. I actually think the guy, unless he goes to like Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay, I think the guy's a second-round pick. I do not believe you should start him immediately when he comes into the league. I think he needs to sit and learn for a couple of, maybe a year or two, and then we'll see exactly what happens. But if he goes to the Lions at 2, man, I don't see it happening, bro. Not saying that he's a bad quarterback. I just don't think he'll be good in that situation over there in Detroit. I'm just going to be honest with you.
I agree with you. I've heard the same rumors. I talked to Mark Brunell, the coach who was on that pro day tour that I was on, starting in Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett, then going to Lynchburg for Liberty's pro day with Malik Willis. Then Matt Corral is when I talked to him in Ole Miss on last Wednesday. But he said, I've been to everyone. I'm going to Desmond Ridder on Thursday, and I'll be at Sam Howell on next Monday. So they're doing their due diligence. He missed the Malik Willis one because he had a prior obligation, and most importantly, they coached him at the Senior Bowl, so they know Malik as well, if not better than any other quarterback in this class. He said, we love the.
All right, so here his 13 games of the 2021 season, 2,800 pass yards, 27 pass touchdowns, 878 rush yards, and 13 rush TDs. So he had 40 total touchdowns in 13 games. The thing that kind of baffles me is he has under 3,000 yards passing, and he played at Liberty. Those passing yards should be a lot higher, but who knows? I mean, they may have been rushing in a whole lot. He did have 878 rush yards, so if you want to combine that as almost 4,000 yards of total offense and 40 touchdowns, he had a pretty good season. But like I said, when he played against FBS teams, he did not shine. He lost every game, and he didn't even play top-tier FBS teams. The best one that he played was Ole Miss, and that was one of his most horrible games that you can watch. He got lit up by Army. They played Syracuse fairly well, but they lost to them as well. Then he played the Raging Cajuns and got blew up by them. Like, come on, man. I think this kid needs to come in. I think he's immensely talented. I think he has one of the best arms coming out of college football in a long time. He's definitely electric. He can definitely run around, but stop comparing this guy to Michael Vick. He is not Michael Vick. He's not Lamar Jackson. Those guys are a tier above him when it comes to running the ball and athletically. Is he a bad quarterback? No, he's not. I think he could be a good quarterback if he put it in the right situation. But you guys are hyping him up like he's going to be the next Michael Vick or he's going to be the next Lamar Jackson. No, he is not. I think this kid will only succeed if you put him in a good situation to where he can learn a 1 year or 2 years. That's why I would want him to go to Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay. Put him in Pittsburgh and around Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin makes everybody better. The dude has not had a losing season in his coaching career. And the weapons and the foundation that Pittsburgh has would be great for him. Let him go to Tampa Bay and let him learn from Tom Brady for a year or two. Let him feel some success. And if Bruce Arians is the quarterback whisperer everybody says that he is, he's in good hands out there. Let him go to a team that has a foundation. If you send him to the Lions, you're sending him to the Lions' den. I promise you. If you have to start this kid from immediately start this kid, I don't see it. I just don't see it. And that's go for just about all these quarterbacks in this draft. I don't see it, man. This draft, particularly, these kids are going to have to sit at least a year or two and learn. That's just my take. This is not bashing a man. This is me actually wanting this kid to succeed. And if he goes to a team that has no foundation and he has to be the savior, it's not going to bode well for him. And the same people that are clamoring for this guy to be Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson are going to be the same people bashing this kid when he doesn't live up to those expectations. You tell me you want a franchise quarterback that can raise the level of everybody. When he played against FBS teams, what did he do? He lost every single game. Threw twice as many interceptions to touchdowns. Had below a 52% completion percentage. That should tell you something. Is that elevating everybody around you? Come on, man. This kid is going to have to sit and learn for at least a year or two. I would prefer 2 years. And then put him out there on the field when he has a foundation and he's soaked up all the knowledge that he can about the game. There's film on this guy that he's a one-read quarterback. Yes, he can make a spectacular play and run around like a chicken with his head cut off and throw a 60, 70-yard pass. That's great. But you're not going to be able to do that all the time in the NFL. Come on. The people that's comparing this guy to Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson and the Randall Cunningham when he first, stop it. He's not that. Cannon of an arm, great kid. Can actually turn out to be a leader, but you have to put him in the right situation. And the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that. Let's move on.
The guy, in addition to what he can do. Listen, I can't do it. I can't pull the trigger there unless I hear something different. I love the intrigue with it. I think Malik is probably more intriguing when you get down to like 8 with the Falcons, 9 with Seattle, if he's going to be a top 10 pick. But both of us are in agreement that he's not necessarily, Mel, a top 5 pick, and maybe he doesn't deserve to be a top 10 pick. So where else do you go? To me, it's Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame. They lost Eric Reed in free agency, and then you look at the other positions that they could go. I think edge is also a possibility. And everyone's going to say, well, maybe we're back to Hutchinson 1, Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon going number 2, like we talked about in October, November, and December. But Trayvon Walker from Georgia is a possibility there to be the number 2 player and the number 2 edge off the board. So
okay, so they got Kyle Hamilton going to the Lions at number 2. Honestly, my pick is going to be Kayvon Thibodeau. I think they need to draft a player that can actually have an impact as far as a major impact to this team and that can actually be close to being the face of the franchise besides the quarterback. And I believe Kayvon Thibodeau is the pick here for the Lions. I think Thibodeau, you can unleash Thibodeau with the Lions. You can bring him in there to do exactly what you need him to do, rush that quarterback on third downs. And if he turns out to be a beast of an edge rusher for you, that helps out your defense tremendously. That helps out your secondary tremendously because the quarterback doesn't have all day back there to pick you apart. So, me personally, I would go Kayvon Thibodeau, number 2 for the Detroit Lions here. I think it's the obvious pick. I think it's the right pick. Kyle Hamilton is very good. I think may be the best defensive player in this draft besides Aiden Hutchinson. I just don't see Kyle Hamilton making a difference for this Lions team the way a Kayvon Thibodeau can. Just going to be honest with you.
What do you think, Kite, between Hamilton at safety and Walker or Thibodeau at edge? Where would you lean if we're not going to go with Malik Willis at number 2?
Yeah, Walker is the guy. You always had that shocker. Remember when Farrell went as high as he did to the Raiders, and we're sitting there saying, "What?
Yeah.
We've seen it before." Remember when Deion Jordan went ahead of Lane Johnson? We thought we were rating in Lane Johnson. It was Deion Jordan. We've had this type of thing happen before. Walker's red hot, but do you get the sack production guaranteed? You don't. You got to project that. You didn't see us to get him on the field to try to get him and the other guys, because there were so many other guys you had to get after the quarterback and do their job. That trade.
Kiper's actually right, man. The hype train on this Trayvon Walker guy is absolutely high. But, man, did he kill it at the combine. And I don't put too much stock in the combine, but he's shown that his ability was not what was being put on the field with Georgia, because Georgia had so many people they played. So you really didn't get to see the full potential of Trayvon Walker at Georgia because they were so damn good on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, the hype train is real, and if he goes all the way up to Detroit to number 2, he damn sure better produce, man, for real. But I think the guy's going to be very good, man. I'm not going to lie to you, man. He has the measurables, and I could just see this guy being unleashed in the NFL, man, because he was on a leash in Georgia, man, because they had so many dogs out there. See what I did? Georgia Bulldogs, dogs. Okay. All right. But I think Trayvon Walker is on that hype train. He may sneak past a Thibodeau or Hutchinson. Who knows? But
Still got to beat Aaron Rodgers in the division they're in, Todd. And the one point I'll make before you go, when you're picking second, you mentioned Malik Willis. Malik Willis is at 18 to 20 range on our boards right now. Well, you're picking 2. You got to either get the second best player on your board if your number 1 guy goes number 1, or your number 1 guy. If you want to stretch it for 3 because of position need, or it's 2 and 2A, fine. But you can't go past 5, 6, 7, 8 in that area. I don't care how you do the
totally
A's, B's,
agree
and
with that,
D's,
kid.
and you all lump them together. And you certainly can't go to 18 or 20. I remember when Baker Mayfield went number 1, Todd, that was a shocker to me. You do rankings, Todd. I had a GM tell me this back in the 80s. You go through this.
And we all know how Baker Mayfield turned out. Lord have mercy.
Exercise. And it's very difficult to rank players and stack them and put them up on a board. You spend so much time agonizing over that, even changing it the night before or the morning of, right? That to go against that completely makes no sense. And that's the built-in protection against making a terrible reach in the draft.
Well, there you have it. It seems like we've landed on the same player. So unless either one of you is going to interject and tell me that I've misread what you just said, Kyle Hamilton is the guy at number 2 for the Detroit Lions. Let's move forward to pick number 3, which of course belongs to the Houston Texans, a team that all of a sudden has a ton of draft capital, including number 13 in this year's class as well, via Cleveland. Mel, we'll go back to you here first. Houston, another team that feels like it can go any which way direction-wise. Free agency, they've been busy, but more so in terms of like the middle tier of the roster. Guys who were there last year, solid veterans, but not necessarily any signings that would make you say, all right, cross that position off long-term as a need.
Yeah, and I think Todd and I will be in agreement here. This is another one. It's a little bit more challenging, but it's another. Is there a team willing to move up? I love Ike Ekwonu. I think he's a foundation piece, Todd, that you really need if you're going to move forward with Davis.
Giants fans are going to be a little sad right here. Ike Ekwonu going to the Texans at 3 in their top 10 mock here. And I don't blame him. Ike Ekwonu, man, the dude's an absolute monster. Best run blocker in the draft, and it's not even close. Very athletic, very nasty, mean. He can play right tackle. He can play left tackle. He can play guard, both guard positions. Only position he didn't play in college was center. The dude's an absolute beast, and I definitely wouldn't mind our New York Giants to pick him at 5 or 7, but I don't believe he falls there. And by the way they're picking, they don't believe he falls either.
Mills, and Davis Mills had a strong finish to the season. He did a good job against some pretty good defenses as well. It wasn't against the cupcakes or the bottom echelon teams. It was against some quality defenses. So I think when you look at Davis Mills, if he is the guy moving forward, they did add, like you say, some journeyman types, some middle of the road guys, a lot of strength in numbers there, not more quantity over quality. But I think you look at Ekwonu, he gives you that great right tackle, a left tackle. He could be a right tackle, guard. Todd, I would go Ike Ekwonu here. I want to see what you think about the 3rd pick overall with the Houston Texans.
While the NBA looks back on 75 years, the NBA G League looks to what's next.
Yeah, this is a tough one. It really is because you could go offensive tackle, and I would go with Ekwonu over Neal as well. I've got him rated 1 spot ahead, both in the top 5. So Ekwonu I can live with, I'm happy with. I do think edge is a possibility, trying to get another pass rusher in there and trying to bring that heat on the defensive front. Outside of quarterback, I think getting that pass rusher is the most important position. So if you have a grade that's higher on Kayvon Thibodeau or Trayvon Walker, as we talked about before, then you go that direction. I think often.
I actually take Ekwonu way over Walker. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Maybe Thibodeau over Ekwonu, but for my Giants, I'm taking Ekwonu every time.
Tackle makes a lot of sense. I mentioned Eric Reed before Detroit. I meant with Houston. I think Houston's another team. If Kyle Hamilton's there at 3, which he very well could be. I mean, Detroit, as we just talked about, with several different options with that number 2 overall pick. I think Hamilton.
I'm taking Ekwonu over Kyle Hamilton every time.
Is a possibility as well. But if you narrow it down, I'm not going to fight you on this one, Mel. I think Ekwonu is one of the 3 best players in the draft. I think offensive tackle is a need. So,
all right, let's get to the Jets.
Or not as much, depending on where Mekhi Becton is at. In free agency, they have been, I would say, sort of finding solid value as well.
All right, this video is getting a little long, so I'm going to speed it up. They got Drake London, receiver from USC, going to the Jets at 4. I do not approve of that pick.
What are you doing?
What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Drake London? No, you don't pick a Drake London in the top 10. He's not better than Olave. He's not better than Wilson. He's not better than Burks. He's not better than Williamson. He's not better than Jahan Dotson to me either. I think he's the 6th receiver in this draft. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on the kid. He has a major injury history. Look, bro, he reminds me of the guy that's on our team right now, Galladay. That's who he reminds me of, and that's not worth the number 4 pick in the draft. I'm sorry. No way I'm taking Drake London number 4. You have... What are you doing? Do not take Drake London at number... Well, yeah, New York, go ahead take Drake London at number 4. I'm tripping. Go ahead. Go ahead. And then with the Judge Mathis, go ahead and take him. I want you to take Drake London at number 4. That is absolutely mind-boggling to me right there. Like, I don't get that at all. So we're gonna go to the number 5 pick. All right, with the number 5 pick, they gave us Evan Neal. New York Giants, we select Evan Neal. This is going to make a lot of you guys happy. I'm going to let them talk about our pick. Let's see what they say.
Mel, right back to you, my friend. Who are the Giants taking at pick number 5 if you had the call?
Yeah, Evan Neal, the Daniel Jones, this is the year, right? And then you feel Andrew Thomas, your left tackle. And then you think about where you are at right tackle, which is a question mark. Evan Neal was a left tackle this year, but he started at right tackle, also started at guard. We know about the talent he brings to that position. He is not the guy that Ike Ekwonu is in terms of playing past the whistle and getting after you and firing off the ball and being destructive. And there's some things he's got to clean up. But, Todd, yeah, it's hard not at 5 to take the right tackle, and I'm saying right tackle for them because Andrew Thomas is left tackle, a right tackle who's got 1 year start. Charles Cross has not been. He's been a left tackle. This guy has been for 1 full year, Todd, in the SEC, a right tackle. I would probably pound the table just a.
So I guess that gives him the edge in their books over Charles Cross, because Charles Cross only played left tackle. Neal has played guard and right tackle. And I'm not mad at this pick. If we do take Evan Neal for the right tackle position, and him and Andrew Thomas, we got a chance to have 2 bookend tackles. And that definitely is going to help out whoever's playing quarterback for us this year and years ahead. So I'm definitely cool with this pick here. Evan Neal at 5. You guys in the chat, let me know exactly how you think about that pick. I know you guys would be excited if they called Evan Neal draft day number 5 to the New York Giants. Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas at both tackle positions. I'm with it, most definitely. All right, let's get to the next pick, the Carolina Panthers. All right, the Carolina Panthers, they got them picking Trayvon Walker, defensive end from Georgia. This Trayvon Walker guy, man, I'm telling you, man, this guy is moving up draft boards, and he's moving at a rapid pace. They actually had him mocked to the Lions not too long ago. They have him actually going up ahead of Hutchinson and Thibodeau on some people's boards, because it's about the what-if potential with him. What if he was just on a leash at Georgia and he wasn't unleashed, and he turns out to be an absolute monster because of the system that he was running with the Georgia Bulldogs didn't allow him to get to his full potential. That could be true. Not going to lie to you. That could be true. But, yeah, Trayvon Walker to the Carolina Panthers at number 6. All right, we're going to get to the next pick. All right, the next pick, the New York Giants at 7. Wow, they got us getting Kayvon Thibodeau. I told you they had Trayvon Walker going ahead of guys like Kayvon Thibodeau. But let's see what they have to say about Kayvon Thibodeau. Giants fans, stand up. Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau in this mock. Let's see it.
Devin, again, this is a team that doesn't have a lot of salary cap space, so the draft is going to be their avenue to making major upgrades this offseason.
Yeah, they've got options here and a bunch of really good players.
Yeah.
We've got Trayvon Walker and obviously Hutchinson coming off the board of the edges. Hutchinson going number 1 and Walker going number 4 to the Jets in this situation. So is it Kayvon Thibodeau, which would be a great pick? You know, for a long time we thought he could be the number 2 player off the board, maybe the number 1 for a while. And now you get him at number 7. There to me is some value. That's probably where I would lean. But again, if somehow Thibodeau and Walker are off the board, I don't know, Mel, that it's too high for Jermaine Johnson from Florida State, another edge defender. And also keep in mind, we had Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame, coming off the board at number 2 to Detroit. But he could be in play here if he's still, you know, some teams are worried, 4.59 in the 40-yard dash. He's a safety. Do we get value in the top 5? Well, if he slips, he could be a really good addition for the Giants here at number 7. And then finally, I'm just going to throw it in. This is where I think the wide receivers start to really legitimately come into play. Garrett Wilson, Ohio State, Drake London, USC. Kiper, a lot to choose from here. I would lean, I think, Kayvon Thibodeau with this pick, but I'm open for some other options.
Looks like I'm not so crazy, Giants fans, when I said, hey, look, I wouldn't be mad at a receiver at number 7. I'm telling you, Garrett Wilson at number 7, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad at that pick. I'm just going to be honest with you. Would not be mad at Garrett Wilson at number 7. But I am cool with what they gave us with Kayvon Thibodeau at number 7 and Evan Neal at number 5. I think that would be a knockout the park draft for us. But, man, I wouldn't be mad if they got Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave from Ohio State at number 7. I know you're going to be killing me in the chat right now. Pat, you're crazy. We got to fix the trenches, the trenches, the trenches, the trenches. Yes, I know. That's why I want the top right tackle available at number 5. But at number 7, we have the option to take best player available. You heard Joe Shane. It came out of his mouth directly. They said we are in a position where we can take best player available because we have so many needs. And Do we have a number one receiver on this team? You guys say Kenny Galladay gave up. He's not worth the money. Riggs, a.k.a. Sterling Shepard, is always hurt. Kadarius Toney was hurt for most of the season. You say that he has to prove something. Slayton, please. Who else do we have on this roster? Garrett Wilson will be a legit number one receiver for us within his first year or two. I believe he does it his first year. Chris Olave, I think he does the same. If we can get Daniel Jones a legit right tackle and have a legit left tackle and let the rest of and Glowinski at right guard and let the rest of those guys fight for the center and left guard position, not to say that we won't take a lineman between the second and sixth rounds with our other picks. That's not what I'm saying. But if you could get a right tackle and a left tackle and your right guard is solidified and let those guys battle it out for the other two positions, and then you put a number one receiver on the field for Daniel Jones or whoever is at quarterback, that makes this team immensely better. And then if the run games get better with if the run game gets better with Saquon Barkley, man, we might have something. We might have something. If Daniel Jones had that receiver that he can depend on to know that, hey, he's going to be in the right spot, he's going to get open for me in these major crucial situations. If I get into a little bit of pressure, I know I could look for Garrett Wilson. He'll be open. Let me get him the ball and let him work. What if Garrett Wilson's clearing it out for people like Kadarius Toney? You get Kadarius Toney with the ball in open space? Are you kidding me? Just saying the potential with Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave at number 7. I'm not taking Drake London. We already got Drake London on the roster and Kenny Galladay. So I wouldn't be mad at a receiver at 7. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Bash me if you want in the chat. Tell me I'm crazy. I'm a big boy. I can take it, but I'm not mad at Kayvon Thibodeau at 7 either. I think that's a steal. Not gonna lie to you. I think he would do well with us here. Definitely with the system that we're running. Only thing I worry about him is his run game, his run defense. So I'm cool with the 5 and 7 pick with the Giants. Not gonna lie to you. All right, the next team they chose in the top 10. Guess who? Garrett Wilson, number 8 to the Falcons. Definitely a good piece for the Falcons to get to replace Calvin Ridley when he's able to come back off suspension. I don't know if they'll still trade him. I don't know if everything changes, their relationship gets better with this year off. I don't know, but we'll see. But Garrett Wilson to the Falcons at 8. All right, we're going to get to the Seahawks at 9. They take Charles Cross. Now, the messed up part about this is y'all start getting linemen when y'all finally get rid of Russell Wilson. Why y'all ain't getting no linemen when Russell Wilson was there? It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But at the number 9 pick, they choose Charles Cross, offensive tackle. And I think that's a pretty good pick for the Seahawks, man. They need offensive line help. They've been needing help for the past 10 years. And they finally get him a little bit of offensive line help. Left tackle off Charles Cross from Mississippi State. And the last pick in the top 10 that they chose, Sauce Gardner at 10 to the New York Jets. So the Jets get who did the Jets pick? Number 4. Man, that was crazy. Ekwonu went to the Jets. So number 4, who went number 4? Chat, remind me who went number 4. But they get Sauce Gardner here at 10, which isn't bad, man. That's a pretty doggone good pick for them, man. Sauce Gardner at 10 is pretty good, man. I gotta see who the Jets picked up. Who did they pick? Oh, Drake London. Oh, that's why I forgot. Drake London. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, Mod Sauce Gardner at 10 and Drake London at 4. Don't like that draft just because of Drake London. What are you doing? Drake London at 4? That is absolutely insane.
What are you doing? What is wrong with you?
I'm going to wrap this video up. It's been a little longer than I expected. Man, this has been Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. Mel Kiper and Todd McShay revealed their new top 10 draft picks in their 3.5 mock draft on ESPN. Yeah, I hope you guys like my take on the picks. I think they did very well besides that damn Drake London pick at number 4. What are the hell you doing? Drake London might not even be a first rounder in my book. But maybe they see something in Drake London that I don't see. Because I definitely don't see a top 10 pick. But we get Thibodeau, we get Evan Neal. I'm satisfied with that. I could definitely roll with that. G-Man all the way. 11-6. Shout out to G Nation Lou. Shout out to Classified 3F with Joe. Check Classified 3F with Joe on the Giants Cave tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be talking more Giants talk and just sports in general, man. Thank you guys for all your support for the Big Blue Crew. Welcome to the Big Blue Crew Network. And this has been Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. And so, until the next episode, peace. This has been a Big Blue Crew production.